I think the most inspiring stories are true stories. And in this series, I sit down for a night after dark with high-profile Australians and chat to them about their own defining moments to shine a light on how that has shaped who they are today. So the internet's a wonderful place, terrific place. How did Tash Sefton get involved in blogging?
I was working for a really large youth retailer, and I was the head of women's wear. So I was the head buyer and product development, and I used to travel around the world for 3 or 4 months of the year. Pretty amazing job.
Yeah.
Had the dream job. And I worked with a girl who worked in a different department, and we would talk a lot. And we would get into trouble all the time. And we would pretend that our roles we were talking about work, but most of it was just talking about what handbag we wanted to buy. And then what we would do is we would send emails to each other because it looked like we were working.
So you were getting photos of things you liked?
Yeah. And one day we crashed the server. And then that night I went home and I was telling my husband about how we got in trouble. And he just said to me, "You're such an idiot. Why are you doing that? Why don't you just talk on a blog?" It's like, this is the new way to communicate.
What year? This is 2006?
Yeah, like 2005, 2006. And because everyone hated us in the office, we decided to call it They All Hate Us. I was travelling and doing some really amazing things. So I was uploading as I was travelling, and, it was like this behind the scenes of this glamorous life. And we were just doing it for each other. And then one day we were walking down the street and all these girls stopped us and said, "We love your blog." And we were like, "What are you talking about?" And then
how did people find it?
I don't know. It literally went viral overnight, but it went global overnight.
But it seems to me that you've been very good at spotting trends.
Well, I was a global trend forecaster. I'm wired like that. We needed to work out a way of turning a hobby and an idea and some fun into actually a business. We were the first influencers or bloggers to have an online retail store in Australia, if not globally. It was happening so fast, and we just would go, yep, let's do it. We had such a huge following. Everything we did would just work, and we would just go, "Oh my God."
You use the term dream life. I mean, but it must be exhausting trying to keep up with all that stuff as well.
Honestly, who would have thought back then that a blogger would turn into an influencer, would turn into an entrepreneur, would turn into a global, celebrity? Now we're comparing ourselves against people in America, Russia, of all different socioeconomic, people that are super rich, and that's what we're looking at as the norm. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
That's nuts pressure, isn't it?
We're buying things because someone's wearing it, or not because I like it for me. We now buy something to wear once and throw it away. Australia has double the amount of fabric that we throw out than America every year.
But I mean, you've been part of that.
I was part of these crazy trends, and I was saying, you need this today, but you need this tomorrow, and this is going to make you better. Probably the biggest thing that I have gone through in the last sort of 12 months is the moment of stopping and going, what am I doing? It actually doesn't define me, and I needed to work that out. And I needed some checks from my family and from people around me to just go, you don't need this stuff. This isn't making you happy. It isn't fulfilling you. It was really, really, really hard to admit, because I had this dream,
Blogging came out of passion, didn't it?
It was behind the scenes. It was my diary of life. Then along the way, it became filtered. It became this, stylized life. Photo
Did you
shoots.
lose the sense of why you got in it in the first place?
Totally, yeah. Now I'm an educator and telling people you actually don't need to be such a big consumer.
Tell us about where your business sits now.
Now consumers want brands to have an opinion. I'm kind of happy about it because it's a good trend, and it crosses over into, sustainability, the whole ethos of caring. I think we need to stop this spin, and we need to stop this desire for consuming things to make us happy, because I think we have to be happy before we buy something.